Corporate crime, also known as white-collar crime, is a type of crime that's set in the sophisticated world of finance and commerce. It is primarily committed by companies or their agents, persons of high standing and often respected in society. These offenses are not your typical street crimes. They are carefully planned and executed, usually by individuals who occupy positions of power in the corporate world. These crimes are often carried out for financial gain, but they are not just about money. They are about power, control, and a distorted perception of success that drives people to cross ethical boundaries. These white-collar criminals use their knowledge and influence to exploit systems, manipulate markets, and dupe innocent people for their personal gain. The term white-collar originated in the early 20th century, distinguishing these crimes from their blue-collar counterparts, which typically involve physical force or violence. White-collar crimes are characterized by deceit, concealment, and violation of trust. They are non-violent in nature, but can have a detrimental impact on many lives, sometimes on a much larger scale than violent crimes. Some examples of white-collar crimes include money laundering, where illegal money is made to appear legal through a series of complex transactions. Tax evasion, where individuals or intentionally avoid paying their fair share of taxes. Fraud, a broad term covering various deceptive practices like securities fraud, credit card fraud, bankruptcy fraud, and more. Bribery, where money or favors are given in exchange for influence or action. Insider trading, where confidential information is used to gain an unfair advantage in the stock market. Regulatory offenses, where corporations fail to comply with regulations set by government agencies, leading to harm to society and the environment. In Australia, the responsibility of detecting, investigating, and prosecuting these offenses falls on several agencies. Among them are the Australian Taxation Office, ATO, the Securities and Investments Commission, ASIC, and the Australian Federal Police, AFP. These agencies work tirelessly to maintain integrity in the Australian financial and corporate sectors, holding those who break the law accountable for their actions. These white-collar crimes, despite being less visible and dramatic than their blue-collar counterparts, can wreak havoc on economies, destroy companies, and ruin lives. In Australia, agencies such as the ATO, ASIC, and AFP are responsible for prosecuting these offenses. Let's take a look at some real-life examples of white-collar crimes. Number 1. Michael Isakidis and Anthony Dixon. These individuals were in a notorious and high-profile case of tax fraud and money laundering in Australia, which had far-reaching effects on the country's financial system. The total amount involved in their criminal activities was over a staggering $135 million. Taking up the role as directors of Numic's Health Australasia, they cunningly devised and executed a complex scheme that involved creating false identities and funneled money internationally. They set up a web of offshore companies and bank accounts in a bid to hide their illicit activities and evade authorities. Their actions not only robbed the government of deserved tax revenue, but also eroded public faith in corporate governance and decency. Number 2. Plutus Payroll, a payroll services company. This company was implicated in a massive $105 million tax fraud scheme that rocked the payroll services sector. The conspirators involved in this crime cleverly diverted tax obligations for their personal gain, with 6 main individuals at the center of the operation. Their insidious activities led to significant losses for the government and a major upheaval in the industry. Number 3. Kawasaki Kisen Kaisha Ltd, also commonly known as K-Line. This prominent Japanese shipping company was slapped with a hefty fine of $34.5 million for engaging in price-fixing activities in the global transportation industry. This illegal activity, driven by greed and the desire to control the market, had a substantial and detrimental impact on major car manufacturers worldwide, disrupting the global supply chain and causing economic havoc. Number 4. Avantage Investments Limited. This subsidiary of the respected Commonwealth Bank Australia was found guilty and fined for unethical actions, deducting fees from deceased members' accounts. This disturbing action was a clear violation of ethical standards and legal stipulations, invoking public outrage and prompting a review of industry practices. Number 5. iWonder and iGrow childcare services. These organizations, positioning themselves as reputable childcare providers, defrauded over $9 million from the Commonwealth Department of Education through an extensive childcare fraud scheme. They exploited government funding meant to support early childhood education, depriving deserving children of vital resources and opportunities. Number 6. Commure. This insurance company was fined for engaging in unsolicited telemarketing and selling life insurance policies without providing proper disclosures to customers. Their actions, driven by pursuit of profit, compromised customer rights and the integrity of the insurance industry. Number 7. Seng Leng Heng. This individual was involved in an illegal Phoenix operation, defrauding the Commonwealth of $4.6 million through fraudulent business practices. By manipulating corporate structures and exploiting legal loopholes, he managed to deceive the authorities for a considerable period, causing significant financial loss and damage to the business community. Number 8. Allianz. This renowned insurance company was found guilty of making false statements in travel insurance sales, leading to significant financial penalties. Their deceptive practices not only violated consumer trust, but also the reputation of the insurance sector. Number 9. Westpac. This major Australian bank breached money laundering laws and was fined an astronomical $1.3 billion. The bank's illicit activities not only undermined the integrity of the banking sector, but also posed significant risks to national security and economic stability. Number 10. Crown Casino. This illustrious establishment facilitated illegal funds transfer and was fined a whopping $80 million for its involvement in illicit activities. The case brought to light the dark underbelly of the gambling industry, raising serious concerns about the efficacy of regulatory mechanisms in curbing such malpractices. And that concludes our list of white-collar crimes. Let these examples serve as a stark reminder of the damage that can be inflicted when greed and unethical practices go unchecked. Corporate crime is a complex issue that often goes under the radar, disappearing into the labyrinth of the global economy, obscured by layers of legalities and power structures. Multinational corporations, with their vast resources, enjoy an unrivaled position, allowing them to subvert the law indirectly, creating an impenetrable facade. This illicit behavior is often masked by intricate transactions and bureaucratic smokescreens, making the detection of such actions a daunting task. Investigators are often left grappling with a spiderweb of deceptions, making the prosecution process incredibly challenging. Despite the best efforts of regulators and government bodies worldwide, the magnitude of this issue remains shrouded in mystery. Its true extent remains largely unknown.